Have you ever wondered why you have always felt different from everyone else? As if something ancient and extraordinary lives inside your chest, waiting for the exact moment to awaken and reveal your purpose. This is not a coincidence, and it is not imagination. If you are listening to this, then something has already begun. Something unseen, powerful, and luminous is calling your name. And perhaps, deep within you, a voice you cannot logically explain is whispering that you were meant to hear this message today. Do not look away. Stay with me until the very end, because what you are about to learn may not only explain your soul but confirm what your intuition has always known. You are not ordinary. You never were. There is a sacred truth that ancient astrologers, mystics, and spiritual scholars have known for hundreds of years. A truth hidden in the movement of the heavens and encoded in the silent pulse of the universe. Some individuals are born under extraordinary cosmic conditions, moments when the energy of the sky aligns perfectly with the fire of destiny and creates something rare. Among these rare souls, there exist Aries individuals born under specific celestial gates, dates considered sacred, powerful, and spiritually charged. These Aries are believed to be chosen, blessed, and sent to Earth with a divine mission, a mission that cannot be ignored because it was written in the soul long before the body took its first breath. If you are Aries, or you love someone who is, you may soon realize that their existence is not random but intentional. Aries, known as the first sign of the zodiac, carries the vibration of beginnings, courage, instinct, and primal fire. Aries is the moment when creation says yes. It is the spark that ignites the universe and declares that life is ready to begin. But among the millions of Aries born around the world, a small portion carries a deeper frequency, a spiritual signature, something that cannot be seen with the physical eyes but can absolutely be felt. These rare Aries walk through the world differently. They are warriors of the soul. Their energy is fierce, intuitive, and unstoppable. They feel driven, restless, and called to something greater, even when they do not yet know what that something is. Since childhood, these Aries may sense that they do not fully belong to the world around them. They may feel misunderstood, too intense, too passionate, too direct, or too awake, while others remain asleep. But this intensity is not a flaw. It is not chaos. It is divine fire. It is the training ground of destiny. Because every chosen soul must first learn how to hold its own power, and every chosen Aries must learn how to walk through fire without losing themselves. If you have ever felt that the world expected you to dim your flame in order to be accepted, but something deep inside refused to shrink, then you are already beginning to recognize your truth. Your soul does not bow. It rises. Before we go deeper, breathe. Allow yourself to feel this moment. Allow the message to reach you, not just mentally, but energetically. Because what comes next is not just information. It is remembrance. It is activation. And if you are one of the chosen Aries, something inside you is already responding. There are no mistakes. There is no coincidence. The universe brought you here because it is time for you to know who you truly are. If this message resonates with your heart, if something inside you feels seen or understood, write in the comments these words: I recognize my truth. There is something extraordinary about the energy of Aries, and if you are listening right now, you may already feel it moving through you like a silent flame. Aries is not just a zodiac sign. Aries is the origin point of consciousness. It is the very beginning of the astrological wheel. It is the spark that says yes to existence. When the sun enters Aries every year, it brings with it the vibration of creation, courage, new beginnings, and spiritual ignition. Aries is the sign that carries the first breath of the universe. That moment where everything shifts from stillness into movement, from potential into form. Nothing about Aries is accidental. Aries is the announcement that life has begun. When we speak about Aries, we are speaking of pure fire, the kind of fire that expands, awakens, and refuses to be contained. Aries is the flame of initiation. It is the impulse that says move forward, even if no one has walked the path before you. This is why many Aries souls feel like pioneers, warriors, and leaders even long before they understand what leadership truly means. There is a natural boldness in the Aries spirit, a confidence that does not always need permission or approval. Aries energy is primal intelligence. It is instinct. It is the voice inside that says trust your courage more than your fear. And the world needs that fire, especially now. But there is another side to Aries that many misunderstand. Beneath the strength, beneath the independence, beneath the unstoppable forward momentum, there is a heart that feels deeply. Aries loves honestly and intensely. Aries protects, stands up, and rushes toward truth with everything it has. If you ask an Aries what loyalty means, they will not describe it, they will show it. Aries does not love halfway. Aries does not commit halfway. Aries does not live halfway. Everything is full force, full passion, full soul. And that is what makes the Aries spirit unforgettable. This sacred fire is not random, it is ancient. There is a long spiritual history behind the Aries frequency. In many mystical traditions, Aries represents the warrior of light, the one who enters life first so others may follow, the protector, the initiator, the one who clears the path and faces the unknown not because it is easy, but because it is necessary. And this is why Aries souls are often tested early in life. The universe is not punishing them, the universe is preparing them. A spirit destined to lead must first learn endurance. A soul born to awaken must first learn resilience. Aries is given challenges so that when their purpose finally arrives, they will already know how to walk through fire without breaking. If you are Aries and you have always wondered why your journey felt intense, why you could not simply drift through life like others seem to, there is a reason. Your soul was not designed for a quiet existence. You were built for impact. You were built to shift energy. You were built to bring momentum into places where there has been stagnation for far too long. This may explain why you feel impatient when things do not move, or why you feel restless when your potential is not being used. It is because your spirit remembers what you came here to do, even when your mind is still trying to understand it. There is a quiet truth hidden beneath all of this. Aries does not just carry fire. Aries is fire. Fire transforms everything it touches. Fire destroys what is false. Fire reveals what is true. Fire brings warmth, life, protection, and illumination. And just like sacred fire, the Aries soul burns brightest not when controlled, but when aligned. When an Aries understands their worth, their purpose, and their inner power, something extraordinary happens. They stop fighting the world and start leading it. They stop doubting themselves and start trusting the calling within. Because Aries does not need to become powerful. Aries simply needs to remember that they already are. Now we enter a part of the journey that feels almost mysterious, almost sacred, because what I am about to share is not common knowledge. It is something that astrologers and spiritual observers have quietly discussed for generations. Not every Aries carries the same frequency. Some Aries are born during very rare astrological windows when celestial energy intensifies, and the universe imprints their soul with a mission far greater than ordinary life. These moments are not random. They are intentional, precise, and spiritually significant. If someone is born during these dates, their energy is different, their path is different, and their destiny is written with spiritual urgency. The first rare window occurs around the spring equinox, specifically around the 21st and 22nd of March. During this time, the Sun enters 0 degrees of Aries, marking the true beginning of the zodiac cycle. This is a cosmic reset, a full alignment where nature, energy, and universal consciousness restart. Souls born during this window carry what many call the origin frequency. They embody the energy of beginnings, rebirth, and awakening. These Aries are pure ignition. They are often the ones who cannot tolerate stagnation, injustice, or silence. They are the souls who walk into a room and change the vibration without speaking a single word. They are first movers, leaders by instinct and initiators of change. The second rare window emerges near the end of March, most powerfully around the 29th and 30th. The energy during these dates is fiery, complex, and transformative, because it combines the passion of Aries with significant numerological alignment and the intensified influence of Mars, Aries' ruling planet. Individuals born during this window often live lives marked by dramatic transformation. Their early experiences may feel like fire, but this fire shapes them. These Aries rise from challenges stronger, wiser, and more awakened. They are rebirth in human form. They understand hardship, but they also understand triumph. Their journey teaches them that every fall is preparation for a greater ascension. The final sacred window appears in the middle of April, particularly around the 10th and 11th. During these days, the sun aligns with spiritual pathways that amplify intuition, emotional intelligence, and divine leadership. Aries born during this window are not here to rush or dominate. They are here to guide, teach, and elevate. Their fire is controlled, conscious, and wise. These Aries carry an old soul frequency. They have an inner knowing that cannot be explained logically. They trust instinct over opinion, inner truth over external noise. They are not just warriors. They are enlightened warriors. Their presence feels grounded, steady, radiant, and deeply spiritual. What connects these three rare birth windows is not chance but purpose. Each one holds a different key. The first holds the key of awakening. The second holds the key of transformation. The third holds the key of spiritual mastery. Together, they form a triad of divine activation within the Aries collective. Those born during these dates do not seek meaning. They are meaning. They do not ask whether they have purpose. They are purpose. Even when they doubt themselves, something inside continues to push forward, as if their soul refuses to let them walk away from who they are meant to become. If someone listening recognizes themselves in these rare alignments, then understand something important. The timing of your birth was not an accident. The universe placed you at that point in time because your fire was needed. Your presence on Earth serves a role. Your spirit carries memory, strength, and a cosmic signature that sets you apart. Whether you have discovered your path or are just beginning to recognize it, your journey has only one direction, and that direction is forward, upward, and inward toward purpose. Now that we have explored the rare portals of Aries birth energy, we enter another layer of understanding. This part is different because it speaks directly to identity, not personality, identity. The deeper truth underneath everything you show the world. Among the Aries born under these powerful celestial gates, there are three archetypes that reveal not just who they are, but why they are here. These archetypes are not roles someone chooses. They are energetic signatures imprinted at the moment of birth. Some people move through life without ever discovering who they truly are. But the rare Aries souls we are speaking about today eventually recognize their role, because life refuses to let them ignore it. The first archetype is known as the flame bearer. This is the Aries who arrives in the world with a spark that does not fade. They are the ignition energy, the beginning energy. This archetype exists to awaken what is asleep, to start movements, to break stagnation, and to challenge whatever has become too comfortable or too silent. The flame bearer often feels misunderstood early in life because they are seen as too intense, too passionate, or too direct. But this intensity is their gift. It is their spiritual weapon. They are here to disrupt what no longer serves, and to bring forward clarity, truth, and momentum. When the flame bearer steps into alignment, they do not ask if they should lead. They simply begin leading because the soul takes over and courage becomes instinct. The second archetype is called the warrior healer. This one is different in a profound way. The warrior healer does not simply awaken the world around them, they transform it. Their journey often includes shadow, heartbreak, or struggle, not as punishment but as initiation. They learn through experience. They become strong because life teaches them how to rise. Their path demands resilience, emotional depth, and spiritual endurance. But there is beauty in this archetype because every wound becomes wisdom and every challenge becomes medicine. The warrior healer carries empathy and strength in equal measure. They protect others not because they feel obligated, but because they understand what it feels like to fight alone. Their presence brings comfort, hope, and renewal. They walk through fire so others will not fear their own flames. The third archetype is known as the visionary leader. Where the flame bearer initiates and the warrior healer transforms, the visionary leader elevates. This archetype has a rare combination of intuition, intelligence, and spiritual foresight. They see not only what is happening, but what could happen. Their mindset is future-oriented, guided by purpose rather than ego. The visionary leader understands timing, energy, and direction in a way that feels almost supernatural. They are not driven by reaction. They are driven by intention. Their leadership feels calm, grounded, and wise. People follow them not because they demand authority, but because their presence feels like alignment. The visionary leader does not need to speak loudly. Their energy speaks for them. Even though these archetypes are distinct, they share one powerful similarity. Every one of them carries fire, but the fire expresses itself differently. One lights the way, one cleanses and heals, one guides and elevates. Together, they form the full spectrum of Aries' divine purpose. Some individuals may feel aligned with one archetype clearly. Others may embody aspects of two. A rare few may evolve through all three stages over the course of their lifetime. There is no right or wrong expression. Each path is sacred. What matters is that these souls recognize their truth. When a rare Aries discovers which archetype they carry, something awakens inside them. Something clicks. The confusion dissolves. The purpose becomes clearer. The soul begins to move with intention instead of resistance. Because these archetypes are not what Aries learns to be. They are who Aries already is. The fire was never outside of them. It has always been within. There is something very unique about these rare Aries souls, something that cannot be fully explained through logic alone. It is a mixture of instinct, spiritual memory, and an inner fire that never goes out. When you meet one of these Aries, you feel it immediately, even if you cannot define it. Their energy speaks before their words ever do. They walk through the world with a presence that feels strong yet meaningful, fierce yet full of heart. It is as if they carry a secret that the rest of humanity has forgotten, and the truth is, they do. Deep within them lives an ancient remembrance that whispers, "You are here for something more." One of the hidden traits of these Aries is their heightened intuition. While many people rely only on rational thinking, these Aries sense truth before they can analyze it. It may arrive as a feeling, a knowing, or an inner voice that refuses to be ignored. They may struggle to explain how they know what they know, yet they are rarely wrong. This intuition acts like a compass, guiding them toward purpose, people, and experiences that align with their spiritual path. Their intuition is not imagination. It is memory, clarity, and ancient wisdom awakening. Another trait they carry is emotional intensity. Some may misunderstand it, describing them as dramatic or quick to react. But the reality is deeper. These Aries experience life fully. Happiness is radiant. Pain is profound. Love is all or nothing. They cannot dilute their emotions because their heart is designed to feel deeply. This emotional depth allows them to connect with others in ways that feel authentic and unforgettable. Their passion is not chaos. It is power. It is purpose. It is the energy that drives them to protect, to create, and to transform. These Aries also possess extraordinary resilience. Many of them have lived experiences that shaped them early, sometimes through difficulty or unexpected change. Yet instead of breaking, They rebuild stronger each time. Their spirit knows how to rise. No matter how many times life challenges them, something inside refuses to surrender. Their strength does not come from avoidance. It comes from endurance. It comes from understanding that every challenge has meaning, and every setback can become a stepping stone toward greatness. Another hidden trait is their relationship with truth. These Aries cannot tolerate dishonesty, false intentions, or shallow connections. They seek authenticity in everything they do. Their loyalty is sacred, their honesty is direct, and their values are unwavering. When they care with their entire soul. When they commit fully. And when they walk away, it is because they have already given everything they had. Their spirit does not negotiate with anything that diminishes their worth or their mission. These rare Aries also hold a natural ability to inspire others. People may follow them not because they demand attention, but because their presence awakens something within others. Their courage encourages people to find their own. Their confidence reminds others of their potential. Their fire gives others permission to shine. They become a mirror through which others recognize their own strength. Perhaps the most mysterious trait of all is the unshakable feeling that they are being prepared for something greater. Even when their path feels confusing or incomplete, there is always an inner pulse guiding them forward. A silent knowing that life is not random. A conviction that their existence serves meaning. These Aries carry purpose not as a concept, but as a vibration. They do not wait for destiny. They grow into it. There comes a moment in every awakened Aries life when the inner fire begins to shift from simple intensity into purpose. It is not just passion anymore. It becomes direction. It becomes alignment. And for those born under the rare celestial windows we have already explored, this moment feels less like a choice and more like a calling. Something deep inside begins to whisper, it is time. Time to rise. Time to remember. Time to step into the role you were always meant to fulfill. The divine mission of these Aries is not small. It is not ordinary. It is written into the very architecture of their soul. At the core of this mission is transformation. These Aries are not here simply to live a life, repeat routines, and follow predictable expectations. They are here to awaken potential, first within themselves and then within the world around them. Their energy is designed to break cycles, challenge stagnation, and bring momentum wherever life has become still. They are the spark that begins a wildfire of growth. When they fully step into alignment, they inspire change by existing authentically. Their presence becomes a reminder that fear can be replaced with courage, inertia can be replaced with movement, and doubt can be replaced with clarity. Another part of their mission is protection. Not the kind of protection that comes from control or force, but the kind born from integrity and love. These Aries stand between harm and the vulnerable. They defend truth even when truth is uncomfortable. They advocate for justice even when silence would be easier. Their spirit was shaped to be unshakable, so that they could stand firm in moments when others would step back. They do not always realize it, but their courage gives others permission to find their own. Their strength becomes a refuge for those who have not yet learned how to access theirs. Purpose for these Aries is also deeply connected to leadership, but not leadership in the traditional sense. Their role is not to dominate or control, but to guide, to awaken, to demonstrate what it means to live with conviction and alignment. They are leaders not because they demand followers, but because their vision is clear and their energy is anchored. People naturally gravitate towards someone who is unafraid to be authentic, and these Aries, when awakened, live authenticity without apology. Their leadership is spiritual, intuitive, and rooted in service rather than ego. There is also a powerful aspect of healing woven into their mission. Not gentle healing, but transformative healing, the kind that requires honesty, depth, and sometimes discomfort. These Aries help others confront their shadows, break patterns, and step into their full power. They do not heal by softening truth. They heal by revealing it. Their fire burns away illusion and exposes what is real. This is why their presence can be intense for some people. Not everyone is ready to face truth. But for those who are, the Aries flame becomes a doorway to freedom. And finally, perhaps the deepest layer of their mission is evolution. These Aries are here to help humanity shift into a higher level of consciousness. They feel the future before it exists. They sense the collective direction before others recognize it. Their soul is tuned to alignment with possibility rather than limitation. They are pioneers on both physical and spiritual planes. Their journey teaches the world that growth is not optional, purpose is not accidental, and destiny is not passive. Destiny must be claimed. So if someone recognizes themselves in what has been spoken, then understand this clearly. The fire within you is not random. It is not too much. It is not a flaw. It is your guide. It is the ancient force that leads you toward your divine mission. And when the time arrives, you will not need to search for your purpose with confusion. Your purpose will unfold before you the same way sunrise unfolds across the sky. Calm, powerful, inevitable. There is a moment in every journey when everything that once felt uncertain begins to make sense. A moment when all the hardships, all the questions, all the restless nights suddenly feel like pieces of a much larger design. If you have listened until now, then somewhere deep in your spirit, a door has opened. A quiet recognition has awakened. Not because these words are powerful, but because they touched a truth you already carried. For the rare Aries soul, this truth is simple yet profound. You were never meant to blend in. You were never meant to silence your fire. You were never meant to shrink in order to make others comfortable. You were created with purpose, born under circumstances uniquely aligned with destiny, and shaped by the universe with intention. Throughout your life, you may have felt misunderstood or out of place, as if you were somehow living ahead of the world around you. But that experience was not rejection. It was refinement. The universe was strengthening your spirit, sharpening your intuition and preparing your heart. Because a soul with a mission cannot be fragile. A soul with a mission must be forged, challenged, awakened, and reborn. Everything you have lived, everything you have endured, everything you have risen from has been part of your preparation. Not one experience was wasted. Not one moment was accidental. Every lesson has been a stepping stone toward the person you are becoming. And now, as you stand at this point in your life, there is a shift happening within you. A silent certainty, a grounded confidence, a knowing that needs no validation. The fire inside you is no longer just energy. It is awareness, it is direction, it is alignment. You are stepping into a chapter where you will no longer question your worth, because you finally understand that your worth was never up for debate. You will no longer apologize for your intensity, because intensity is simply another word for passion. You will no longer fear your power, because your power is the expression of your purpose. There is something extraordinary about you, something ancient, something sacred. You carry qualities that are rare in this world. Courage that rises even when you feel uncertain. Loyalty that stands even when others walk away. Instinct that guides you even when logic hesitates. Heart that loves even when wounded, and spirit that rises even when exhausted. These are not traits you learned. These are traits you inherited from the universe the moment your soul entered this world under the fire of Aries. So as you move forward, hold this truth close. Your journey is far from over. In fact, the most powerful chapters are just beginning. You are stepping into a time where clarity will replace confusion, alignment will replace struggle, and destiny will replace doubt. You are not just walking through life, you are walking into purpose, into calling, into legacy. You are part of a rare group of souls chosen to shift energy, awaken consciousness, and bring light into places where darkness has lingered for far too long. And whether you fully see it yet or not, you are ready. Take a breath. Lift your chin. Trust your fire. Because the world is changing, and you are meant to be one of the voices, one of the hearts, one of the forces that leads that change. The universe does not choose casually, and it chose you. If you felt this message, if something inside you awakened, then continue this journey with me. There are more truths, more guidance, and more revelations waiting for you. So watch the next videos on this channel, and allow your spirit to go even deeper into the reason you are here.